Guys, rest in peace. Steph, this is new, but I'm sure you know about this, but rest in peace to the Metro card.
What? It's going away?
Yeah.
Here, I'll get real on Baton Pass as well, that like, I feel both really proud of the things that I've gotten to do this year, but mentally going into 2025, I was not doing so hot.
Happy New Year, everybody. Yes, you watching this video. It's another episode of Baton Pass, you guys, for 2026. Woo! Let's go.
If I had one of those, what are they called where you blow into it and it goes, bleh? You know what I'm talking about?
That I like the little spitty thing that makes like the crazy, the crazy noise, like the wee, 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 wee. I love that. That's my favorite.
We made it, everybody. We made it through 2025. I'm so happy.
The dumpster fire is now behind us, everybody. I am joined by my co-host Steph, and we're here. We're celebrating the new year. You made it. Congratulations. It is hype. How are you feeling going into this new year? Because oh man, I'm feeling really good. I don't know. I'm very optimistic for this year. Like as much as people say that every year, I don't know. For some reason, the vibes are different, but in a good way. I don't know. How do you feel about it overall?
Well, I think there's this relief feeling, we were joking about it of like, we actually did it. And I think it's a roller coaster. And, one thing, and I'm excited because we're going to get into it, but first we'll catch up at all this. One, I'm happy to be talking to you because it's been a hot minute because we've both been doing holiday things. So we get to catch up. I'm really looking forward to that. But in general, one thing that I love doing is kind of reflecting on the new year because it's very easy to remember like the bad things that happened. But one thing that we planned for this podcast is to not be a downer and talk about all the negative things that have happened, but also to look back and say like, what were we really proud of this year? What were we excited about? What were some of our biggest wins? And I honestly encourage everyone while we're talking about it to do some reflecting if you haven't, even though it's still the start of a new year, it's never too late to kind of reflect on your last year. And so I'm also feeling good. And I know after we kind of talk through our reflections, I'm going to feel even better because it's very easy to focus on like the negative, and then you look back and you're like, wait, this thing happened. And like a year's a long time. A lot happens in a year. You know what I mean?
I agree. There's so many people. I mean, it could just be like the smallest things. Like even if you, let's just say like even if you lost like 5 pounds in the year, that's still like an accomplishment. Like you got to take the little wins when you can. Even let's say if you don't have a lot of wins for 2025, like you still did something. Like maybe you traveled somewhere. Maybe you visited a friend that you haven't seen in a long time, or like, maybe you uploaded that first YouTube video ever or something like that. Like anything. Like I started my gaming journal journey in 2025. So that's something, right? Like it's not something that I openly share. Like I haven't posted it anywhere, but it's like, like it's something that I've been doing like as a hobby in my off time. And it's now I think I'm sticking with it forever and stuff like that. So it's like that feels good, And so I'm going into the new year with very, very good vibes. And I hope you guys are going in with hopefully the same optimism and stuff like that, especially since, I don't know, there are moments in 2025 that I was like, okay,
let's pretend that didn't happen.
Yep, that's basically the vibe. But I will say, something that is leaving, unfortunately, in 2025. Guys, rest in peace. Steph, this is new, but I'm sure you know about this, but rest in peace to the Metro card.
What? It's going away?
Yeah, they're discontinuing it. We're recording this on December 31st.
Yep.
It's discontinued today. There's no more Metro card, unfortunately.
Wait, what do you do now?
You use your phone and you scan your card.
That's actually good. That's good technology.
No, what do you mean? No, the Metro card is a staple to New York City.
How do you feel that the Metro card's about to be retro?
Oh, I'm so sad about it. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I'm happy I kept this one. Like, I've had this one. It expired, like, literally. It says expires January 31st, 2025. So, like, it was long expired.
Gone,
It was long expired a long time ago. But I kept it in my pin board over here on the side. So I'm just happy I have one. So like it's just something like cool to look at. It is now a relic.
Mine? I might have one in my purse that I never clean out. It might exist somewhere there.
If you guys haven't lived in New York, you have no idea what the heck this is, but it's essentially like it used to be our public transit. Like you swipe it in and then that's how you would get into the train station and stuff like that. But it's officially gone. So I'm holding on to this forever. forever. So that's leaving in 2025. So that's something to think about.
Wow, the times are changing. I can't believe it. Although that's a good thing because the amount of times like I'll have to refill the card and other places like I think London has been doing that for like many years. When I went there, I was like, wait, it's so easy. I can take a bus and just scan Apple Pay on my phone.
Yeah. Well, nice. No, now New York is getting with the times, but I don't know. We're New Yorkers are sentimental, okay? We this is something. It means something. There's actually I saw on TikTok. There's someone who's an artist who makes like little sculptures and like little like drawings with the Metro cards that they like cut it up and they use. Yeah, I gotta show it to you at some point. I don't know the guy's name, but yeah, he's like, I don't have a lot of these Metro cards left and they're discontinuing. So, but I'm like, that's art. It's art. It's very cool stuff. Anyway, side banter over. But yeah, that's going away in 2025. But I guess, essentially we're going to take this episode to just reflect on our year, right? And like go through it and see what we're either leaving behind or moving forward with and stuff into 2026. I'm so excited for this year. I will say, like, let's just throw it out there. It's Pokemon's 30th anniversary in 2026. Yeah. So I am so excited. They already did this like cute little like it was like a 15-second like animation with like Kensuke Mori's like Chonkachu art. Did you see that?
Yes, I saw that this morning.
So cute. Oh my god. I was like, it's happening. So I'm very excited. So yeah, that's something to look forward to in the year.
There's so much. There's so much to look forward to. Oh my gosh. But I guess okay, before we get into our reflecting and talking about the year, V, what have you just been up to generally since I last talked to you, since the last time we were on the podcast together? I mean, it's been like at the time of us recording it, I feel like it's been like at least 2 weeks, maybe. I don't know. It's been a while. That. Yeah.
It's been a little bit, but I did visit my family for the holidays. So during Christmas and stuff like that, I was with my fam. Aww. Haven't seen them in a very long time. Probably like I want to say like 2 years or something like that. So that was really nice. But oh God, it got me remembering how New York is and stuff like that. I'm just
was it as busy as it usually is during the holiday time?
Yeah. Here's the thing. I was like, I'm going to go to Rockefeller Center and visit the big tree and like go to Nintendo New York. And it's going to be so great. And there's going to be absolutely no human traffic ever. It was a lot of human traffic. It was so bad. Like to the point where I don't even get claustrophobic like that. But I had my moments where I was just like, okay, there's a lot of people and it's crazy and stuff like that. So we didn't hang out for that long, but it was good. Like I took a photo and stuff like that.
Did you pick up anything at the Nintendo store? Was there some merch?
At the Nintendo store? Wait, I think I did. Yes. Oh, but I don't have it with me. They had like Zelda like stationery, like a little like stickies, little sticky notes cute. And like things like that. So I grabbed that. And then my mom got me these mints, but the tin was the Hylian shield. So that was really cute. So, just like little things like that. I was curious to get like a little like winter cardigan, but it was really expensive. It was like 90 USD for like a cardigan, and I was just like, it's not that serious. I love Nintendo, but I was just like, I'm okay. We checked out Saks Fifth Avenue a little bit. I didn't get anything because I'm not like that. But I don't know. I just looked around and it was nice.
Wait, do I know what that means? Saks Fifth Avenue?
It's like a bougie like store.
Oh, it's like a nice. Okay, it's a store, not literally an avenue. I'm thinking like
it is in Fifth Avenue. It is in Fifth Avenue.
Oh, what is it? What's in Gen 5? The little like not festival area, like the
like Joint Avenue.
Joint Avenue. Yeah. Do you think Joint Avenue was inspired by Saks Avenue?
Well, I don't think so.
No,
no.
It's not off the back of a desert, right? Isn't there a desert or something?
It's by the. Oh my God, you're taking me back because listen, my Joint Avenue back then was popping. Okay, people, it was awesome. But yeah, it's like a department store chain. And it has a lot of like really expensive, ridiculous stuff. Well, not ridiculous, but it's like if you got the money, it's one of those. But I just walked around in there and whatever. Actually, something that I've started in 2025 that I'm bringing to 2026 is I'm in a photography journey, but like actually using a camera.
Ooh,
so I brought that with me to New York. So this is my baby camera.
Oh my gosh!
For the audio listeners, it is a Canon EOS Rebel T7. So I don't know if that's good or bad, but essentially I'm a level 1 photographer, you guys. So I'm trying my best, but I took a couple of shots, a couple of shots here and there. If I get it from the SD card, I'll send it to you because I know you will be editing this episode, and I'll just put some up right now. But I think I did a good job with some of the pictures that I took during my trip. So, some of it is like family shots and like, random, like I went to a Christmas light show in Washington D.C. and so I took it was in a zoo, so it was like a lot of Christmas lights of like zoo animals and stuff like that. It was really cute, so I took some photos of those and like other things. It was cute.
Yeah.
So I'm starting that journey. My lens is not great, like it's not like thousands of dollars. It's just this is like a hand-me-down high key.
It's still a beefy camera. I'm excited for your shots that you're gonna take.
I will be bringing it with me to MagFest. So
I volunteer for some crazy candids. I'm sure I'll be like, I don't know, I'm usually going all over the place.
We'll figure it out. I will be taking photos with or of some cosplay with consent of cosplayers and stuff like that. Hopefully they'll be willing, but I want to. I don't know. I'm just gonna try.
You're gonna see my dresses in person for the first time at MagFest. Oh my gosh! Which, for anyone who doesn't know, it's a music and games festival that's happening in January. So very soon. You're right. Soon after.
I think actually the next episode might be recorded in there. Maybe fingers crossed. We'll see.
More in person. That's what I want. New Year's resolution: seeing V in person.
Yes, and recording Baton Pass. Yeah. Actually, I will say, like, I'll just be honest. I'll be straightforward. I think my biggest New Year's resolution for 2026 is to get Baton Pass to 1K subscribers.
Yes,
that I do have that written down here. So we that is one of the things I definitely want to do. So subscribe if you guys have been enjoying the episodes and stuff like that. That's right. But the trip was fun. Family trip was fun. It was just catching up with the fam and stuff. It's like I didn't really scroll that much. It was like no doom scrolling like
peace
during
and serenity.
Literally, I was just hanging out with my younger cousins, just like playing with them and stuff, and we were watching movies. I think I watched like 3 different movies and stuff like that, which one of them I'll recommend. It's actually really good. It's called Hidden Figures. I don't know if you've ever heard about it.
No, what kind of movie is it?
It's inspired by, it's a true story, but it has to do with NASA. Figures. Let me see if I could just find like a random synopsis. 2016. It's a American biographical. I wish they explained more where's the synopsis. Anyway, it's about these 3 black women who worked at NASA, and basically they were like, one of them is in charge of getting the calculations in order to shoot rockets with people into space. So they were the reasons why we were going to the moon in the first place. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like the how we got there kind of situation. Awesome. So it was actually a really good movie. I didn't expect it to be that good. So
I love movies like that, and especially in the STEM fields. I think right now there's a lot of reflection's not the right word, but a lot of scientists have been credited, especially like for NASA achievements. Like a lot of times it's white men who have been credited for big things that have happened, when in the reality there's been like a lot of important people who have not been written about in history. And so I think it's been cool that at least in 2025 and around this time, just more people are actually going back and looking like who were a part of these teams. It was not just this one person who deserves all the credit for these scientific achievements. And so I actually love stories like that, which is
this movie came out in 2016, just for transparency. So but it was on cable TV, and my aunt was going through it. She was like, "Did you see this movie?" And I was like, "No." She was like, "You need to watch it right now." And I was like, "Oh, okay." And so it was very good. I would highly recommend it. If you guys haven't seen it, Hidden Figures, 93% in Rotten Tomatoes. So, but good trip overall. And I'm just excited to get into the new year. If you want me to be honest, I'm so hyped. But
let's do it.
If you want, I know you said the big topic of this episode, you wanted to talk about just like going through the new year, or not the new year, or the previous year, and like just like the accomplishments that we've done and stuff like that. Do you want to talk more about what you wanted to like? What is the topic of the episode today?
I thought it would be really cozy. I feel kind of inspired by when we just sat and did our Game Award nominations, which was so much fun, where we just chilled and like went through. So I've got my calendar up, V, and like I think it'll just be really fun to go through just some things, standout moments of 2025 that either we were proud of or that like you see something and you're like, oh, that was a good moment. And so I don't know, we can start, I guess, with Q1, as you know, January, February, March, things that stood out. I know for me, in those early months of the year, there's a couple of things for me, which I think it was my 7-year partner anniversary was in January of this year. So I've been doing the streaming thing a long time. Overall, this year was my 10-year streaming anniversary, but 7 years being a Twitch partner. So January, I got to celebrate that. I also started to do a lot of things with the Twitch Women's Guild as a mentor, which I feel like we don't talk about that a lot. That's one thing I do outside of my usual content, is like I do a lot of mentoring with the Twitch Women's Guild. And so I put on a couple of workshops that weren't public facing, but I helped a lot of newer streamers who were getting into the space. Which was really cool. And when I look back, I'm like, oh yeah, I did host that workshop on that day. And then, of course, we got Pokemon Day, which is kind of crazy to think about what February was like to now, and actually having Pokemon Legends ZA and being so excited and not knowing what was going to happen.
I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. Yeah, I will say like Q1, I mean, I've talked about it before, but it was definitely the start of this little guy, my little gamer journal. So it was like me, essentially the premise was like, I was just logging down like each day that I played a game and how long did I play for, just so I can like go back in the year and like reflect on the games that I've played. And it's become like a really like staple hobby. Like I can just tell you right now, April is the most I've played games. Like you see all that highlight.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like I played a lot of games in April. Like just going off of it is like I played Overwatch. I played the Mario Golf game from like the Nintendo 64. Yeah. I was playing the Happy Home Paradise DLC. I played South of Midnight.
About that. That's like, right.
I was doing a whole bunch of stuff. But yeah, in the beginning of the year, it was a lot of like going to Pokemon events and like just kind of like interacting with the community. So I did San Antonio Regionals. I did Pokemon Go Tour, among other things.
We saw each other at Go Tour. Oh, that was a fun time. I love Go Tour. I love Go Tour events.
I will say, as I'm going through like my photo gallery and stuff like that, I think I need to make more of an effort of taking more of those Pokemon Go like candid shots with the Pokemon and stuff like that. I feel like I slacked last year, but it's all good.
Well, now you've got your camera arc. Now you can take them in Pogo and take shots in person that you can add Pokemon to.
I will try my best. With that. But yeah, I think this was like one of the most fulfilling things that I did this year. So if you guys have ever like even thought about doing some journaling, it doesn't have to be gaming related at all. It could just be about people do book journaling. So if you're big on reading and stuff like that, audiobooks, right? Or even if you watched a movie, you can like write about it and like your review on it versus like going to an app and whatever. And like, you know, I guess you could do that too. It's like kind of the same thing, but I don't know. There's something about writing it down on paper and it feels really good.
Did you find, like, looking back at your journal now, especially like the earlier entries, did it evolve a ton, like compared to when you were like, what were you going to write about in the beginning versus what it became by the end? Was that like a gradual process, or did things change?
I will say now in the new year, I definitely learned a lot. So it's like, you guys it's going to be so hard to see in the YouTube feed, but this is like how it looks for like January and February versus like if I go to the 2026 journal now, this is January. It's a little bit more like nicer and cleaner and stuff.
A lot more images, a lot more. Well, are those check boxes for you to write? Oh yeah, to write all your games on it.
Yeah, so the games I'm gonna write down, and then essentially I'm color coding in terms of how long I've played. So if I played for an hour, it's like a different shade of yellow versus if I played for like over 6 hours, is a little bit more tan colored. Yeah. So it's kind of like color coordinated and stuff like that. So that's something that I've learned versus like actually writing it down. I'm learning. I don't know. It's like this format actually looks a little bit more cleaner to me.
Yeah.
Versus like when I first started this, I was like, I have no idea what I'm doing. Make a chart, I guess, of the new year and stuff. There's certain games that I'm going to be like, I basically have a a section called goal games. So it's like there's 6 games that I'm like, I need to make an effort to play this year.
Yeah.
One of them is like obvious ones like Pokemon Pokopia. I will be playing that.
Yes.
But then some of them are kind of like I've never played that God of War game that came out on the So it's like I want to play that this year, you know? So it's like hopefully I can get through all of my goal games and stuff like that.
Oh gosh, my voice.
You're good.
When did Expedition 33 come out? Was it March?
It came out in May.
Oh, May.
I will check right
I'm too early.
Nope, I lied. It came out in April.
Oh, April. Okay, maybe that's the start of Q2. I was like, was that the beginning of the year? Kind of middle-ish.
Oh God, that game was like incredible. So yeah, I think we beat it in May. That's why I said May. Yeah, we beat it in May. So yeah, that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
But that was something I was very proud of. I started like dabbling more into like the YouTube journey and stuff like that, doing more YouTube videos. So like, for example, we started this podcast. Yeah! That was a very big thing that happened in 2025. I started my own like side channel, which is kind of just like miscellaneous gaming stuff versus like my Pokemon things. Yeah. It was good vibes. I don't know. Like, I feel like I experimented with a lot in 2025.
What do you think is one of the biggest things you learned this year specifically? Is there something that stood out to you as like, yep, I'm going to take this lesson with me into 2026?
I've learned truthfully, and it's a bad and a good. It's kind of like the acknowledgement. My time management is horrible. I've learned that my time management is like really bad. And I feel like it's been like this since childhood. Like, you know, I struggle to like get up to like go to school and like, you know, do that kind of stuff versus like if I have a schedule and like I actually stick to it, I can actually get stuff done. Yeah. There's this thing called interstitial journaling where it's like you write down what time it is. So like, for example, I'll just say like, it's 2 p.m. Right. I ate lunch and now I'm going to do this. If you journal that, then you get to look at your day and kind of like be like, wow, I really feel accomplished. Look at all of the things that I did in the day and stuff. So I started doing that a little bit, actually 2 weeks ago. Wow. And it's been super helpful. So I'm just like, I think I'm bringing that energy into 2026. So it's like, that's something big because, you know, we're juggling like this podcast, I'm juggling streaming, I'm juggling doing my YouTube thing, and then there's also just life in general. You know, maybe we got to go out and do grocery shopping, we got to go out and do this, you know, miscellaneous adulting and stuff like that. So that's a hard lesson, but I'm trying to work through it.
It's so important. And I think everyone works in a different way. And I've definitely felt that it can be very easy to think, oh, well, everyone else is working in this way. Why can't I just work in that way? And sometimes everyone's brains are different. You got to find what works for you, you know? And
I agree.
That's the most important thing, I think.
What about you? What was your like Q2 or something? You said something that you've learned or you know that you're gonna bring with you.
One of my learning lessons has definitely been patience with myself. You know, like I talked about this on another podcast, so I figure I'll get real on Baton Pass as well. That like I feel both really proud of the things that I've gotten to do this year, and like we'll get into it, but like I've had some of the craziest career highlights like this year that I've ever had. But mentally going into 2025, I was not doing so hot. You know, like at the beginning of the year, I was really doubtful, imposter syndrome. Like I was really questioning a lot of my decisions. And even when I was being a very harsh critic to myself, opportunities still kept happening. And, you know, there's still things to be proud of, even though my brain was finding a lot of reasons not to. So I think for me, it was a good reminder that you're never going to hit perfect with anything that you do. And you have to be patient and take things day by day. And doing something is better than doing nothing. And you will get rewarded for doing that. Because it can be really easy to get so discouraged, especially like when times get tough to like not want to try at all. But I think putting something out there is good. And so, yeah, the energy I want to bring into the next year is like have patience and like step by step and like it's okay, because literally like in the beginning of the year, I would not have thought about like going back to content creation and giving it the love and attention it deserves. And then fast forward to now, where not only did I go full time with content creation, you and I went to Paris for Pokemon. What the heck?
That was crazy.
I can't believe it. I was a Pokemon partner this year. Like so much stuff we got to do. ZA launch. Like there's so many things that have happened that are like really cool things that I know. Like I'm so happy that I did, or I would have regretted that I didn't get a chance to do those. But like beginning of the year stuff was like, it's over. Like content, I don't know if I'm gonna still. Well, I mean, I think I still will always stream. Like I love it. I love the act of it. But you convince yourself in these circles, and so I like talking about it just to for others who are going through it to know you're not alone in like having those doubts and those feelings about things. So yeah, it's weird. It's weird for like people to be telling me like, Steph, you've had a killer year. You've been killing it. And I'm like, why can't my brain accept that?
That's what you get it. You get it. Oh yeah. It's so easy to be hard on yourself and stuff like that. I will say I kind of big agree on the doing something is better than doing nothing. Yeah. Us as humans, we are such creative beings. We are so creative, and it's like I'd rather you in whatever creative that you decide to do, post it or whatever, or do it or make it and it be bad. Yeah. Versus you striving for perfectionism and you just never post it or make it or do it and stuff. Yeah. So yeah, heavy on that. I agree. So it's like as I'm, uploading on YouTube, yeah, maybe I go back in the videos and I'm like, oh, that's kind of cringe, or I talk down to myself, but at least maybe I learned something about that video or something like that. I said that to Courtney, my wife, where it's like every time she like uploads like some music piece, I actually gave her journal prompts, which is so funny. I was like, write down what you liked about it, write down what you learned and how you can bring that to the next thing going forward. And she was like, I really like this journal prompt that you told me to do. I love that. Yeah, I think that's, I don't know, be creative, people. You gotta, it's in our veins. We must create, even if it's like it's drawing, it could be photography, like how I'm like experimenting with that. It could be journaling, it could be Twitch streaming, like you could just like elevate your Twitch game or something. Like you see what I'm saying.
Can I get kind of real and kind of spicy? I don't know why this is inspiring me, because we have not talked about AI on this podcast, and we're not going to go like crazy in depth about it, but what my prediction and my hope is that I think AI is very scary, and like there's a lot of bad that has been happening with AI. I think a lot of people can agree with that. My hope is that like in a coming age where corporations are trying to like commodify creativity and like honestly take it away from the people, my hope is that the reverse will happen and that people will crave the human touch and like being more creative. And like, I don't hear you talk about like, just do it, just be creative, gives me hope that, as the world tries to make us less creative, we will want to all be more creative and have an outlet for that. So that's my hope with all the scariness with that going on, is that, find things to fulfill you and find some way to, whether you're like a super creative person or not, I think having good outlets like goes far. Yeah.
I think also, I mean, this is kind of why I'm going back to like older like movies and stuff like that versus like the stuff now. Like granted, I watched some movies in 2025, but like for example, I watched Hidden Figures that came out in 2016, a time in my life where I'm pretty sure I would not have like watched it or anything like that. And I'm just like, wow, this was a really good film. And kind of like, as someone who's getting into photography and like, and editing and stuff like that, I look at the video in a different light. So I think that's kind of interesting. So I don't know. I'm just viewing art differently, but like in a good sense. I
thought about you recently because I was on another podcast earlier this week, and so we were chatting, and I know I can't believe it. Yes. But Baton Pass #1. Listen, this is my favorite podcast. But I was on another podcast, and they were talking about how as a content creator, they don't watch or like consume a lot of content because they're afraid of becoming more of a consumer than a creator. And if you get stuck watching too much content, then you don't actually have the drive to make it because of like the dopamine you get from just consuming all the time. Yeah. But then I thought about what you've said to me before, which is, I think if you are watching it with the intention to appreciate the art form of the content and like how they made it as like the same thing that a painter makes a painting, and if you're looking at like, why did they make those editing decisions that they made, I think that prevents you from being someone who is just like doom scrolling, like watching, not really thinking much of it, versus like, like let me think about what actually makes this piece like so special and cool.
I actually watch a lot of YouTube videos where it's like my intention is to look at their editing process and I'll be like, okay, how did they do that? Or, and sometimes I think about like their writing, because like they're talking from a script, sure, or whatever, but like someone had to write it. And I think some like I think about the YouTube channel Daryl Talks Games. I talk about that channel a lot. I think that channel is very insightful in terms of video games and like thinking, like critical thinking in terms of video games and things. And I think his writing is like phenomenal. I'm like, God, I want to write like that. How do you do it, man? Like it's so good. But it's inspiring. It's not it's not envy and that kind of mentality. It's more inspiration for me to like be better and things. So yeah, I think that's a good way to go about it for sure. Is like, for example, okay, going back to the photography thing.
Yeah.
I went to a zoo to watch these like holiday lights and whatever. It was like Christmas lights and whatever, but of zoo animals. And I'm just sitting here. Awesome. Yeah, it was really cute actually. So I'm just like trying to take photos. I looked up on Reddit, like what is the best, like, settings for like taking photos of Christmas lights at nighttime and stuff. So I was like meddling around with that. And then I saw a gentleman that was like kind of like off in the corner, but like taking photos of the lights in a different angle. And I was like, I want to do that. And so like I'm walking over to the side and I kind of copied what he's doing. And then I saw the effect and I was like, oh, I get it. I was like, oh, I learned from this random citizen. And it was like, I don't know. Find inspiration from others.
Yes.
Please do not be disdainful or envious or like jealous of other people's talent. They got there for a reason and or got inspired by other people. Something to think about into the new year.
No, for real, that's so true. And I also think there's like a difference between like straight up copying and finding inspiration and being transformative about it. Honestly, like for many, many years, I would say, especially the first like 6 years of my content creation journey, I actually didn't like, I never had someone who inspired me in terms of content. Like I kind of was like, I don't know, like part of me was like, whatever my brain comes up with, that's like authentically me. And like, I didn't really think about like taking inspiration from other people's content or things like that. But the more I've spoken to, especially like other creatives like you, and honestly, Carlos has talked to me a lot about like his music process. And just for a lot of musicians, like, ultimately there's only a limited amount of chords. So it's about being transformative. And, like, I think there's this book called like Steal Like an Artist, where you're not straight up ripping and taking somebody's ideas and re-uploading them, but you're looking at elements and like, how can you incorporate those elements in your own way, or change it up a little bit. And yeah, I've thought to be more mindful of like, yeah, I should look for inspiration more because you won't grow. Like you won't grow if you don't like try to find things to learn from, I think.
And also one of my favorite quotes from one of the best movies of all time, Meet the Robinsons.
Yeah.
When you fail, you learn. From success, you don't really learn that much. So it's like, everyone's striving for perfection. But if you fail, you learned about why you failed or why that video didn't do good or, you see where I'm getting at.
Yeah.
So don't be afraid to fail, people. Steal Like an Artist, 10 Things Nobody Told You About Being a Creative. Okay.
That's a good book.
I will take a look at it.
Yeah.
For sure. But yeah, in terms of the new year, I mean, I did that. There's like a lot of traveling that we did, like how you were talking about. I will say, I'm like, is this the most that I've traveled in 1 year? I think so.
I think I traveled once a month. And on the months, like, for example, I was like, September, I won't travel. Then we had the Pokemon event. I was like, oh, yes, I am. Yeah.
I did San Antonio. I did Los Angeles that was Worlds, I believe. I did Seattle for PAX. I did New Orleans for NAIC.
Oh, New Orleans was so fun.
I did Vancouver for the City Safari. I did Paris. So yeah, like multiple countries, I will say. And then, I went to New York City. I just came back from New York City and Virginia recently.
Okay, this is so random. Shout out the random note in my calendar that I canceled my Adobe subscription. So shout out to my freedom from subscriptions to use free alternatives like DaVinci Resolve. Although I still use Photoshop, but I've been that's been not a resolution, but I've been like, can I use alternatives? And that's okay, when you've been doing this a long time, sometimes I get so comfy in like the softwares I've been using and the hardware, and it is nice to challenge yourself to learn new things. And it also helps you not get stuck in the like back in my day, kind of
I agree
mentality. And so I've been trying to be proactive.
I did get a new PC this year, now that I think about it. I got a new PC. So it's like, I feel like my productivity game has been like absolutely
Yeah.
it's shot up like immensely. But I kind of agree with that, with what you said. I'm starting to look at my subscriptions, if that makes sense, and be like, do I really use this that much, or do I really use that much? Like, I'm actually considering canceling my Spotify subscription, and the only reason for that is because I have YouTube Premium, and YouTube Premium has YouTube Music.
Yeah.
So technically I have two like music platform things. I basically have to like weigh like what's the better like music platform, basically, and see what I want to commit to. But there's certain things that Spotify does that I just don't agree with. Like, for example, I have 1,200 liked songs on Spotify.
Ooh, yeah.
And when I hit shuffle, right, to like shuffle my 1,200 songs, why am I hearing the same 30 songs?
Oh,
like, do you know what I mean? Like, I'm hearing the same songs.
Yeah.
And I'm like, out of 1,200, there's no reason why I'm hearing like, you know, XYZ song, like, again. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, after I shuffle it like multiple times. So like something like that, I think that's algorithm or something other. I don't know. Something that's in the code that I just don't agree with. And I want to see, I'm experimenting with it now, but I want to see if YouTube Music is better. The TLDR is that I want to like lower my subscriptions that I have.
Yeah, we should follow up on that. I'd be curious on your algorithm update because yeah, I won't lie, I love my Spotify algorithm's good to me, but maybe I do like hearing the same songs. And I just don't realize it. I'm like, yup, these songs are the ones
you're gonna notice it now, though.
Yeah, now I will. Now I'll be like, what happened to this other song? But honestly, in my defense, I actually don't make a lot of playlists. And so Spotify is really good when I start a genre. Like, okay, and in our household, jazz fusion, like the mix specifically of like Japanese anime sounding jazz, you know, like there's a certain like Japanese jazz that I'm like, this is the combination of our household and it's perfect. And I don't have a playlist for it, but they're really good at finding the same genre where I'm like, oh, I'm fine. It's good for me finding new songs when I don't have playlists, but I haven't really tried playing my playlists. I'm usually just like, Spotify, go be free and see what happens.
Find random curated playlist here and then just hit play. I'm very, I don't know. Maybe I do want to be like, experimentative with like the new artists that I listen to. Maybe I do want to like, maybe, I don't know. I guess I'm also in that mentality of maybe I want to listen to an album from beginning to end instead of Spotify just picking the best song and like putting it in a playlist here and whatever. So I don't know. I've been paying more attention to what music I've been listening to recently and stuff like that versus like what the quote unquote algorithm is telling me to listen to.
Yes, so I think that's important.
I want to curate my own music playlist. But that's just me, right? Like maybe some people are just, you know, I don't care, hit play and like that's it. So, and there's a freeing feeling to that. And I'm happy for you for it. So that's something that's going with me. There's so much stuff. I'm also like getting deep into like the analog journey. A big reason why I'm getting into photography is because like all of my photos are on my phone. But like I remember the days of having like a photo frame, like an album, like a photo album. And maybe I want to print out the photos that I took and stuff like that. And people would be like, V, you could just take a photo with your iPhone or whatever. I don't know. There's something special about just like getting the settings right versus like an iPhone just making the settings for me and you know, learning why does it have to be focused this way or why is it this setting versus this setting, you know, in a bright sunny day versus, you know, deep at night, why do I have to change the, you know, learning instead of just letting the device do the thing. Right. I don't know. I'm in my learning journey, I guess. I'm just like, I want to know why. Very philosophical.
Oh, don't get me started. We could have a philosophy podcast. Technically, I have a philosophy degree.
Oh, well, period. Yep, there you go.
My undergrad degree is in history and philosophy of science and technology. It's a mouthful.
Did you have a specific on history, or is that too?
Well, yeah, mostly it was mostly like history of science and philosophy, like history. So science, history of science. So I did a lot actually. Okay, small glimpse into my degree that is no longer relevant to my life. But things like looking back into the history of how medicine evolved. And so what's really interesting is that you have the pharmaceutical industry, and then you go really further back where you might know about the humors, where people would think that based off what was going on with your blood, they could tell what was wrong with you. And so bloodletting used to be a thing because doctors used to think that like, oh, that's how you could like figure this out. But what's interesting is like you have like the era of like being careful about like charlatans and snake oils and stuff like that. But you can also like study a lot of like first person accounts of people who went to alternative forms of medicine because quite frankly, pharmaceuticals, one, weren't always accessible to people. So what were the ways that people could end up finding healing measures that like weren't working? But also pharmaceuticals weren't regulated back in the early days until a lot of things happened. And so it's like really interesting to see how important it was for people to talk amongst each other to figure out solutions that would work. And so, yeah, it was kind of studying a lot of like first person sources.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but what was like, do you know like the era of time just off the top of your head was like the fastest advancement like ever? Or was it just like when computers became a thing kind of like situation?
Well, I studied way earlier than when the first computers came around. Like I'm trying to remember when the first vaccine was created, which I think was,
not to put you on the spot.
I want to say 17th century. Granted, everyone, it's been many years since I graduated, and it's left a lot of my brain. But I want to say, for example, like the first, I remember. So you had the plague, right? You had the Black Plague.
It all started
killed everybody.
How did we go from New Year's resolutions to the plague?
History is interesting to listen. We're reflecting on our year, and now we're reflecting on all of history. But you can learn a lot. You can learn about history
for sure.
But yeah, the first time a vaccine, was because people were getting sick from like water and like didn't know what was going on, and like there was a whole lot of stuff. So anyway, I think the 17th century, and there was a lot of technical things that were created, like even before the stethoscope, like there were inventions that were created at some point. So
and that's the stuff you take for granted, like the stethoscope, the one that like you go to the ear and like look the ear and stuff like that. I learned from, because Courtney has to take her annual eye exam all the time because she's blind as a bat, but it's like apparently through the eye like technology you can learn a lot about your body and system and what's wrong with you. Apparently they can, the doc told me that they can detect if you have a cancer like through your eyeball, which is like, that's crazy. Like I don't know, that's just crazy stuff. As someone with borderline perfect vision, as they say, for those of you who don't know, apparently I have 15/20 vision, which apparently is like super good. I don't know. It's what I think that's what it is. Please don't quote me on that.
Do you eat carrots?
No, I actually hate carrots.
You don't have to have carrots to have good vision.
Apparently that was a myth for sure. It was a thing to get kids to eat carrots back then.
I never fell for it.
The same thing with spinach. I never had
the carrots. Oh,
when they made
spinach is good for you, right?
It is good for you, but apparently, this is from what I've read. I don't know if don't take it with a grain of salt, but apparently this wasn't the reason why the Popeye cartoon became a thing, but it encouraged parents to buy spinach for kids because they made so much spinach and there was like an excess and they needed people to buy it. So I don't know if that's the reason why Popeye was made, but it was like, eat your veggies, kids. Look at how strong Popeye gets when he eats spinach and whatever. And so people were buying spinach because of that. But because the reason why that was a thing is because there was an excess of spinach and they needed people to buy it. The same thing with carrots. They were like, you got to eat carrots and it will help your eyes and stuff like that. And then Bugs Bunny with the whole eating the carrots and stuff like that. Yeah. It's crazy how media can get you to buy food and stuff like that. Is crazy. That's a deep rabbit hole that I don't know if this podcast is ready for, but here we go. Is crazy.
Anything's happened. You all let us know if we start tangenting and baton passing about something and you're all like, wait, talk more about that. Let us know. And we probably will.
People are probably going to look it up and be like, V, actually, that's not true. But listen, I Googled it one day and it's true. Gosh. But yeah, we started the podcast around July-ish or June-ish and stuff like that.
Let's go into the summertime and highlights from the summer. Yeah.
That was
Launch
super
of
fun.
Baton Pass. Pass.
which was so fun. We went to Worlds, which, you know, sub to that, we went to Disneyland. I don't remember if you told me if that was your first time at Disneyland.
It was my first Disneyland.
Yeah, that was super fun, even though we bullied you into walking forever.
Oh, yeah. I looked like I was about to collapse. Oh, my gosh. Wait, and okay, I think this happened before Worlds. Do you know the story about how I fainted in the Apple store?
Yes, you yeah, you did say, but I don't know if the audio people know.
The audio listeners, the quick TLDR is that I have fainted twice in my life, and like it's very funny because, well, okay, it's nothing serious, thankfully. I know fainting can be serious, but
yeah.
It was like out of a movie. Yes.
Look at her. She's fine.
Basically, when I get stressed, you know how like the media portrays someone as like, oh God, I'm scared, and they pass out. Like I can kind of get like that, unfortunately. I guess I get that stressed that my body shuts down. So I was in the Apple store. I had some complications with getting a new phone, and it really wasn't that serious. I think I was just having an anxiety attack about like me not being able to log into an account and like all this, and it was really crowded because it was a holiday. So I think I was a little claustrophobic. And so anyway, I passed out in the Apple store. It was the first time that Carlos like saw that happen to me, and like I after like 20 seconds, like, you know, I hear him being like, "Steph, are you alive?" And I'm like, "Carlos,
what the hell?
Why would you say that to me when I passed out?" I think he didn't mean it to sound so funny, but I was like, "What? That's so weird to wake up to," and I felt bad because then the whole store was like, you know, they had to call the EMTs and all this stuff, but ever since that happened in the summer, every time we're out for long periods of time and I go like, oh, I'm getting tired, Carlos like gets so stressed.
Oh my
being
gosh.
like, are you good? Do you have water? Please don't pass out. I'm like, no, I'll be okay. But yeah, when you were saying that Disneyland, I'm like, yeah, I'm glad I didn't pass out, which I joke about, but then I'm like, I gotta be careful not to joke about that because I can actually pass out.
I think that's why they give you a lot of sugar in Disneyland to keep you awake and you don't pass out and stuff.
Yeah.
Isn't that something?
Stay hydrated, everyone.
I agree.
Yeah, I think be careful of your blood. I think that's what happens to me.
Blood
like
sugar.
My blood sugar. Yeah, blood sugar. Yeah, it goes all the way down.
That's why I always carry a Starburst with me. Not sponsored, but I always carry a Starburst with me when I travel.
What color? What flavor?
I mean, if you were to put all the colors in front of me, I would probably grab the orange one first.
Oh, I don't like the orange flavored one.
So give me yours.
I like the pink, the strawberry.
Yeah, that's all right.
I'm wearing strawberry.
Of course,
pink.
you like the pink one. You ready?
Yeah.
yeah. Offer. What's your least favorite one? Because I don't like the red one. If I see the red one, I'm like,
We're the opposite. We'd be good friends because I only exclusively eat the pink and red Starbursts, and then I don't eat the orange and yellow. But I think
I love the yellow.
Oh, yellow's my least favorite.
Oh my gosh! What does it mean? Opposites attract. That's what it means. That's so funny. Oh my god. Very good.
We would have been good friends because I literally used to open, the pack of 2, and I'd be like, orangey, give me red and pink. And if I got like orange and red, I'd take the red one and give the orange or yellow one away. So you would have had all my Starbursts.
Yeah, I either have Starburst or Skittles. Now, here's the thing with Skittles. I think all of them taste the same. I truly think all the colors taste the same. Yeah. And also I eat them one at a time. I think if you have them all in a bunch and just go like
they'll mix together.
You're kind of crazy, I think.
Yeah.
But I mean, whatever, you do you stuff. But I do it one at a time, and I can't wait for the comments for that. But that's how I roll, people.
I
that's
also
just
do
how
one at a time. I think one at a time is nice.
You're my best friend. Yay! Very good.
I feel like, you know what? I think I can taste subtle differences, but also I think I have weird sensory. I've got the cilantro gene. I have like really sensitive palate. I can taste it, but I think I'm like above average with taste buds. Like I think I don't know. I always have a very justified reason why I don't like something. I'm like, yeah, this tastes like this very specific thing. And actually, I just had some friends of ours got us some oolong tea from Taiwan, which was really cool. And I love oolong, but I noticed, I was like, this tea has like something in it. I don't know what herb that I've never had before, but I was like, do I like this herb? But I'm like, why am I looked at Carlos, I'm like, do you taste it? And Carlos like, tastes like oolong. And I'm like, no, this does not taste like the same oolong that you'd have in Japan or a Japanese brand.
Is it like the
oolong.
legitimate oolong, I guess, quote unquote, versus like an American one? I don't know how it works.
Well, I think in Japan you get pretty good quality oolong as well. I don't know.
It tastes the
But
same
it was
to you?
loose leaf. It was loose leaf, but there's some herb in it. I can't read the type of tea this is. I can't read it. It's in Cantonese, I think. But yeah. Anyway, I can.
But do you like it? What's the consensus?
I'm not sure yet. I think I need to try it one more time because I also don't know if I steeped it at the right amount, because with green teas and black teas, I know. But for oolong tea, I feel like I didn't find the right. I was like, did I just steep it a little too long? Is it 30 seconds versus like 2 minutes? Like do you have a go-to for your tea steeping point?
There's one. Well, I don't know about steeping. Listen, I don't know. I'm not good with the science about that. I just know that I like one flavor and I just let it sit there and I'm like, okay, it's good enough. And then
oh, so have you not we have one of those things for loose leaf tea. Like you put the crunched up leaves.
The leaves in the whatchamacallit, right? In the metal thingy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think we have some, but that's all Courtney's business. I don't mess with that.
It's advanced tea.
Yeah, it's too advanced for me. I'm like, I'm good. Though I will say, I think I'm gonna also into 2026. I want to get into like my ground coffee journey versus like just using like K-cup pods. Now here's the tea. Here's the tea. There's I found out from my mom that there's reusable K-cup pods. So it's a metal thing similar to like tea things, and it's like you put the ground coffee in it and then you put it in like a K-cup pod and it does the thing like a K-cup pod would do. You would just have to clean it when you're done. And I'm like, what? So I could have had ground coffee this whole time versus spending $1 million on K-cup pods? I could just use the reusable ones and then I'm fine. So now I'm like, oh, well, no, I got to get that. I think it's on Amazon or something. I don't know. I'll figure out a way to get it. But I'm locked in. I'm subscribed to that. I'm subscribed to saving money on ground and just reusing it like that. So this is the way. But in terms of tea, it's called mango ginger. Ooh. So I like mango ginger tea, and I don't know what kind it is. I can't tell you what it is. I just know that it soothes my tummy when I have a tummy ache, so I'm good. But that's the only time I have tea is like when I'm sick or not feeling well or something like that. I don't have it casually. I truly don't. So maybe something's not that something's wrong with me, but it's just I don't know. I resonate tea with you're not well, therefore have this to feel better.
Well, and maybe for me, because I'm so sensitive to taste, like if I leave the tea bag for too long, it tastes more bitter. Like the tea will not taste good. Yeah, but maybe that's because of the kinds of tea that I get where it's better to.
Do you put honey in it?
No, I don't put honey in it. Nope, not usually. I mean, if I'm really sick, sometimes I will. I'm also not big on ginger teas, but if I'm sick, I'll brace myself and be like, do it because it'll make me feel better. But I don't like the flavor of ginger too much. Even with sushi, I never eat any of the ginger that they give you on the side. That's a no for me. But yeah, any other till through the end of the year. Actually, there's one highlight I want to talk about. You had a huge win, but then otherwise we should get into our resolutions and talk about what we want to do. But V, you were in a Google ad. We should talk about it. I want to hear the story of that, like how that must have felt to get that email, like, and then
I definitely I don't know how to feel still. I'm still very like it's one of those that it happened so fast, and I was just like, what is happening? And I'm still receiving the praise of like, wow, you were in this Google ad. That's really cool. But I got an email from like, it looked suspicious. It looked like a very suspicious email. And I had to like double check where the email came from. Like the person who sent it and stuff like that. It seemed legit. And they were just like, hey, we would like to use this clip of yours from this Instagram reel. I was like, first of all, if I go back to the analytics of that Instagram video that they mentioned, analytically, it did not do that great. Like, it was not like a pop-in. It was not a pop-in Instagram reel. So I was just like, why do they want this? And I was just like, this is so, I don't know. I did know the reason. It was for like Google year-end search, but I didn't know the context.
I was just, content was good. You didn't need the views. The actual thing you made, the creativeness.
That's what I'm
great.
saying. And so I was just like, yeah, you can use it. And then like, dude, it was like 3 seconds later. They were like, great, sign this contract. And I was just like, oh, okay. And I was just like, just double making sure that this person is a legit person and whatever. Person was legit. And then I signed it. And then like a couple weeks later, they reached back to me and they were like, congratulations, we used it. And I was just like, okay, great. So very interesting turn of events.
That's
yet here
so
we are.
Cool.
Yeah.
Winning in 2025. And I love that. One that's just so inspiring. I feel especially fellow creators love to hear that, like, again, these opportunities, regardless of whatever your metrics are, make things you love, and the right people can find it and notice it and be like, that was a good reaction, like that. And honestly, I think you're so authentic in everything you do. I think that's why they were like, this is the one we need. Like, you're so good at what you do. So like, I think one that's so cool, so inspiring. I'm so glad you got to be literally front and center on
like
that,
literally the first second of it. I was just like, whoa, this is crazy. I will follow through with that. Yeah. Like going back to the conversation that we talked about earlier, just post it. It doesn't have to be that great. Like I just said, my analytics for that video was not great. It was just kind of like average for me. Yet that was the video that they chose for this like big Google ad that like millions of people are seeing, to the point where I had elementary school people, like friends from elementary school, hitting me up. They're married with kids, and they were like, I think I saw you on a Google ad and stuff like that. So I'm getting all these messages. So it's very cool off of a video that I forgot about. Like I was just like post and ghost, and that was it. Post a thing. You truly never know what will happen. And this goes for any medium. It's not just reactions. It could be something you've made and created and stuff.
Yeah. Like this was not a 2025 win, but in a similar vein, like when I started casting and doing esports casting, I was just wanting to have fun. And I said, it would be fun to learn how to cast Pokemon Unite. And I never thought I would actually get invited to cast like an actual Unite finals. And so I just think about the only reason that happened is because I wanted to make a reel for fun. I was like, what if I just take my like stream clips, put something together and have something? And then one day somebody came up to me like, Steph, I really like your sound. Do you have a reel? And I was like, oh yeah, I do. That I made for fun. Like that I wasn't ever planning to send anyone, or like, do you have clips of you casting?
You should voice act.
Oh my gosh, imagine.
That would actually be pretty cool. Well, like, I'm just saying.
Would you ever make a game? Like, would you ever make a video game?
Oh, of course. I
would voice act in your video game.
I want to say my video game idea, but then someone's going to steal it. Ready?
Listen, we talked about inspiration, but sometimes you have to keep ideas close to the chest.
Okay, so I won't talk about it. But
unless you want to. But,
maybe
keep it a secret. Keep it a secret. Maybe for patrons, which, by the way, thank you, especially as we get to the new year. Thank you to all of our Patreons. You are part of the reason that we can continue to justify doing this. So thank you so much. We appreciate you. More Patreon content coming soon for the new year.
I agree.
We're planning. We're gonna go crazy at MagFest. We got ideas. It's gonna be so fun in person. So stay tuned. Thank you, everybody.
Absolutely, yeah. But in terms of that, we were in a Google ad. I actually remembered that I was. We were invited to a wedding, so I was a part of a. I wasn't a part of a wedding, but I was there. That was pretty cool.
Aww.
I saw, celebrating with my friends and stuff like that. The Paris trip, I did not think in a million years that I would ever visit Paris a day in my life. Yet here we are. That is just crazy. I still want to bring that energy into 2026. Like this all has come from like everything that I've accomplished, even this year and just like from previous, is because how you said, I was just being myself.
Yep.
And now I'm in a Google ad and now I'm doing all of this. So I'm just gonna stick with it. Like and honestly, visiting my family like last week, or, a couple of weeks ago, that was truly a reminder of like where I came from. Yeah. And this is my roots and stuff. And so I want to just hone in on that. Again, we're so lost in the sauce sometimes as a
Yeah.
creative, where it's like you want to try to copy like another creator and stuff like that. And I'm like, you know what? You can't really do that. So
Yeah.
I'm definitely bringing that energy into the new year for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah. So 1,000 subscribers on Baton Pass. That's 100% happening.
I love it. I feel
I'll-
like that's such a good segue to your resolutions. Like, what are your
Absolutely.
content resolutions?
I literally, well, it's not just content. I actually have a
or
whole
in
bunch.
general, life resolutions. Yeah, tell me them.
I have wrote them all down because Courtney and I do this thing where we sit down, and so like I have my list of resolutions and she has her list. Our goal is to not look at this. So right now it's December 31st, so I can look at it, but when 2026 starts, I don't look at this list anymore.
Yeah.
And then I come back to it in the end of the year.
Yeah.
So on my personal channel, I want to hit 10,000 subscribers. I think that's I want to do that so badly. Number 2, hit 1,000 on Baton Pass. That is happening. Like
Yes.
I feel so confident about this podcast. I feel like we really have something here, and I really want to like push for it. I feel like we can do it, Steph. We can do it.
I believe.
Okay, this is all random, not content related, but I want to read 5 books. I want to read, like sit down, read 5 books. Another excuse to get away from the doom scrolling and stuff like that. Discover music like the old days. So like finding an album, listening to it from beginning to end, curating my own favorites versus what an algorithm's telling me. This is going back to the Spotify talk that we had earlier. Be more consistent with my physical activity, getting up, going on walks, you know, maybe take a run, you know, stuff like that. Like, so the point is to not sit here all day, because I am slowly deteriorating my body if I'm sitting here all day. I need to get up. I have a standing desk, Steph. I need to utilize my standing desk. So it's like, you know, stuff like that. Work on my time management. I told you, like, that's my biggest issue. Build up a physical media collection. I brought a lot of DVDs with me from my parents' place. So I have a lot of DVDs, a lot of catching up to do in terms of old movies. And the last one is beat Xenoblade Chronicles 2.
Ooh, let's go.
So I started that like a while ago, and I haven't like gone back into it. I need to do that. So those are those are my written down resolutions, 100% for sure. I feel so confident in accomplishing all of this. So yeah. Do you have anything out of curiosity?
Okay. So this is so funny. And I think, V, you know me really well, so I think you'll understand. For those listening, I think not everybody gets the impression about me, at least maybe from my streams, that I am a planner. I'm very much an organized. Sometimes it's disorganized chaos because I have a little bit of my own ADHD, you know, that goes on, and like it's crazy sometimes. But sometimes if I get too into the stats and too into the weeds, I like self-sabotage myself. And what that means is I've done New Year's resolutions sometimes and I accomplish them, but usually that means I accomplish them being the most stressed out possible. Like I stress myself trying to ensure I hit goals. That might come from like, you know, as a kid wanting to do well in school all the time. So like I like really like hyper fixate on them and making them happen at all costs, that like at the cost of my health and stuff. So rather than writing down a bunch of goals that I think might stress me out because I'm in a discovery phase, I think for me, my energy, that's what I liked. We were talking about our energy, and like I think my mantra for the year is just to be in the present and to follow my heart. And so I think if I have that be my guiding compass, good things will happen. And then it's more so for me a good reflective process of like, rather than have like a proactive goal that I think will burn me out, which is because of my own self being like that, follow my heart, be adaptable, be flexible, and be okay with like not knowing where you're going to be. And I think that's because I'm in a transition period of still discovering like, you know, what kind of content do I want to make now versus like then. And like, I think I'm still figuring that out for myself. And I mean, I still love what I make and put out, but I don't know. I think the direction I'm at like a critical mass point where I think I could do like one of like 5 million different things. And I'm still, even at the time of it being the new year, figuring it out. So yeah, I haven't written down. I do. Okay. But separately, I do want to do things like be more active. I think
for
taking more
sure.
walks.
We both need to do that. We both need to do that.
I
If
really
you have
wanted-
stairs, climb flights of stairs.
I know.
You gotta do it. You have to.
I-
It's for the betterment.
I'm scared to set the goal of to take a walk every day because I don't know if
You don't
like,
have to
I
do it
know if
every
I'll do
day.
it.
No. Because then
Yeah.
but this is the reason why I write these goals and then I don't look at them for the rest of the year. Because if I
Right.
look at them, then the pressure's on. These are loose goals that it's like it's something to think about, but I truly don't. By the time it's April, I'm like, what am I don't know.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? So
Right.
it's like this is why we look at it at the end of the year and I'm like, did I do that? Nah, I didn't, but that's okay. You know? And
Yeah.
it's very loosey-goosey, but I will say my subscriber thing, my personal channel, I really want to do that. I really I want to push for it and stuff. I will say there's something that you said, and Steph girl, you need to play Kingdom Hearts. You need to play Kingdom Hearts. Literally one of the mantras is may your heart be your guiding key. That is the mantra.
Maybe I need to play Kingdom Hearts. Maybe Kingdom Hearts will heal me.
I'm so serious though. I'm so serious though. I feel like that will be one of the games of all time for you, for real. Like, I truly believe it.
Does the PS5 have a version? Because I have the PS4. Oh, maybe I could play. Yeah, maybe
if
that
you
could
have the
be
PS4 version, you could just download it.
I don't know where it is, but I have the story so far, so I do have it. I think if I had Carlos with me and we played it together, I think I would actually get through it. Just because of the getting lost. I get so lost.
This is fine. This is something that you look up, but oh my God. Yeah, once you're in, you're in. And I feel like that would resonate with you a lot.
I know I'll love it. I know I will. I can just tell by the vibes. Also, I love Utada Hikaru, so I'm sold already.
Come on.
I'm
it's
sold.
like, honest, and Yoko Shimomura. Like, duh. Like, all of her tracks is like fire. Oh my God, Steph, we have so much to look forward to. I'm so excited. I really think, I don't know. I'm going in it in a very positive mindset. Yeah. Like I've already begun some of these habits that I want to bring into the new year. So it's like versus like I'm going to start my habits on January 1st. That is the biggest mistake. You got to like start it from like December 1st and then work your way through. So like as I'm already getting started, I'm like, "Oh my God. I'm so locked in for this year." And I hope you guys watching and listening are excited too.
That's right.
And that's a good way to wrap up, I think.
I agree. This was so fun. This was so nice. Everyone listening, let us know in the comments if you have a resolution or something you're looking forward to this year. Thank you, Patreon members, for supporting us. We love you, appreciate you. And we will see all of you probably either live from MagFest or we'll have one other episode go up in between. We'll figure it out as we go. Thanks, everyone, for watching. Catch you next time.